Now, go to the audio sound bites. You got to hear this, folks. A New Jersey Republican committeeman upset with me and my comments on Governor Christie yesterday. So I'm just selling books, selling advertising by picking on Governor Christie. It was on PBS. The NJ TV News with Mike Schneider. This is New Jersey PBS. And he spoke with New Jersey Republican National Committeeman Bill Palatucci. Oh, and by the way, I have to tell you, there were a couple of comments. Cookie, could you, while I'm doing this, I meant to tell her, could you go get Stephanie Cutter from yesterday's roster? Stephanie Cutter, of all people, I thought had an insightful comment on the Christie election. Yes, and she's being pilloried in some of the conservative media as being foolish and stupid and idiotic, and I kind of had a different take on what she said. And even that clown Schultz over at MSNBC has said some things that, whether he knows it or not, makes sense. And I mean, I may be the only one agreeing. We'll see here in just a second. So meanwhile, Cookie's getting that. We'll go now here again to late night PBS New Jersey TV News with Mike Schneider, and he's talking with New Jersey Republican National Committeeman Bill Palatucci about me and my criticism of Governor Christie. And to set up the segment, this is how Schneider starts.
I turn on my radio this morning because I scan all sorts of media, and I turn on Mr. Rush Limbaugh's program, and he is tearing into Governor Christie, blaming him, among other things, for the defeat of the Republican candidate in Virginia, of all things, saying that the exit polls show that he would have lost this state, he would lose this state to Hillary Clinton if he runs for president. I mean, just really doing a job on your man. That just got to bother you.
Well, do I need to explain that? Well, because the guy didn't get it quite right. I did point out that there were exit polls in New Jersey. I didn't do them. I didn't vote in New Jersey, so I didn't participate in them, but there were exit polls in New Jersey. Let me put it this way. As I mentioned at the close of yesterday's program, one of the reasons that the Republican establishment is orgasmic over Christie's win yesterday, it was a landslide win, excuse me, one of the reasons is that he won Hispanics. By what was it, 9 points or 5 points, something like that? But he won the Hispanic vote. And that is just orgasmic to the Republican establishment. That's where they think their future is in the Hispanic vote. Certainly don't bother looking it up. It's 5 or 9 points. It's it's one of the two. Doesn't matter. So they're just ecstatic about that. And I made mention of it. And they're extrapolating that to mean that Christie can win the Hispanic vote nationwide. And that's why they're happy. And you know, the thing about this is there were also exit polls of people who voted in New Jersey, and they were asked in a presidential race between Hillary Clinton and Governor Christie, who would you vote for? And Hillary won that exit poll by 4 to 6 points. I forget, but that was the range. And while the GOP establishment is understandably happy that Governor Christie won the Hispanic vote in New Jersey, if it ever came down to a presidential race between Hillary and Governor Christie, who's going to win the Hispanic vote? Hillary is. And not just in New Jersey, but everywhere. That's the problem with this. We all know this. I mean, maybe the Republicans could do something to reach out to Hispanics, but amnesty's not the answer. I mean, if you're going to do that, that's just going Democrat light. We've talked about that. I don't need to rehash all of that, but that's why they're ecstatic. All I did was point out. I didn't blame Christie for what's his name, Cuccinelli's loss. All I did was he didn't go campaign for him. I just told you the truth. Cuccinelli asked Christie to come in and campaign for him, and Christie didn't. That's all. If that sounds like criticism, I'm just telling you what happened. And then I told you about the exit polls. So Christie wins in his landslide with Hispanics and everything else, but in a presidential race in New Jersey, Hillary would win. which means if the exit poll's right, remember these guys live and die by this stuff, that Christie would lose his home state to Hillary in a presidential race if it ever eventuated. I still don't think she'll be the nominee, but I've been wrong about Hillary every day, so I'll have to put that aside here and really rethink that. So anyway, that was the setup to the question, and now the answer comes from Mr. Palatucci, who is the Republican National Committeeman for New Jersey.
Not at all. I mean, I take with a grain of salt people who are promoting their radio station or promoting their book or promoting their movie on HBO, because by picking on somebody, they're out there shilling for themselves and looking for viewers or
this
for
is a guy
book
who's
sales.
A lot of followers in your party.
Listen, again, I think most people understand this is one man's opinion, Rush Limbaugh, who's got advertising to sell, and Chris Christie is a popular, successful governor.
And it won't hurt him as he runs for, it won't hurt him as he runs for president?
That's the way for Mr. Limbaugh to get some more viewers.
Well, to all of you viewing the program today, you know, it is sort of a non sequitur. Rush Limbaugh's got a lot of advertising to sell, and Chris Christie's a popular governor. What does that mean? Look, everybody knows, folks, if Christie is the Republican nominee, I'm not suggesting people vote for Hillary. This is absurd here, what's being done. All we're doing is analyzing Republican chances as we go forward. And we know that this guy's leaving out a crucial aspect of everything mentioned yesterday, and that is how the Republican establishment is at war with its own base. That was the fundamental point being discussed yesterday that the New Jersey committeeman wasn't asked about, may not even know that that's what happened here. I just wanted to play those two sound bites for you because they're amusing. Now, let me find this. Nothing. No. Here's the thing. What's wrong with selling advertising? It sounds like a Democrat comment. There's nothing wrong with it. What he's trying to say is that I don't believe what I'm saying. I'm just saying outrageous things, trying to attract an audience. When he says, well, he's got advertising to sell, Limbaugh trying to sell advertising, Christie is a successful governor. What he's saying is, I'm just some little cad here on the radio mouthing off, saying whatever I have to say to sell advertising, while over here is the serious governor of New Jersey who's working really hard to build a Republican. It's just a way of discrediting what I do. Because selling advertising is the number one business requirement here. If that doesn't happen, all the rest of it's academic. But so does Fox. So does everybody in the media, except PBS. And they get taxpayer money to do what they do. They don't have to sell advertising, so they don't have